All right, guys, welcome to tonight's epic training. And I say epic because we thought we would do something extra special for you guys because it is the holiday season. We are on an extra special night. We have an extra special guest with an extra special message. He is kind of like Santa Claus if you took away the beard, took away the big belly, and then just gave him the ability to give out presents. I don't know if he's going to give out any presents, but he probably has some awesome information to share tonight. So let's get this thing started, guys. I am your host, number one income earner, Joel Dunn. Today, our special guest for you is none other than CEO John Alcala. And we have got some awesome things to go over with you tonight. So, John, are you able to unmute yourself? Because I'm technically savvy and I know how to let you get unmuted.
We're ready to rock. We are 100% ready to go.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be so awesome. Guys, I want John to come on here to do a couple things tonight. One, we're going to be talking about vision, things that are coming, things that you need to think about in the future. But also, we have a couple weeks left in this year to finish this year strong. So before we start talking about things to come, we need to talk about finishing strong. You have done so awesome for these last, 49 weeks to get this year right where you want it. So why slow down now just because you think it's a holiday? Some people are kind of winding down their business because it's the holiday time, but not you. This is the separator season.
Mhm.
This is where success happens. This is where leaders shine. They do the things that are unnecessary, the things that are unseen when everybody else is slowing down. They're ramping up. So tonight we want to give you some fire for finishing your month strong before we start telling you about things to come. So, John, pour some fire on these last few weeks that they've got left.
Well, man, I'm already fired up from that little freaking intro. So I'll just go do my job and get back to work as well. I mean, first, Joel, thanks for having me on, man. I know that it's there's a lot going on right now, but what an awesome opportunity to be on. Hello, team. Good to see you. If I haven't met you, hopefully I'll see you and meet you soon. But it's just awesome to be on with you tonight. And Joel, when you asked me to be on, I was trying to think of like, what do you bring, right? You got to finish strong. You want to give vision. You kind of want to get both. And it's hard to not look forward already to 2025, but I think we would be making a grave mistake if we did that. We know 2025 is going to be phenomenal. We know that the plan that is set before us. Trust me, I wanted to get here faster than you do. I'm ready to just unleash everything that we're going to do in 2025. But there's rare moments in this business, and Joel and Steph, they've actually been through more of these moments than we have because they've been in the business longer than we have. That there's lucrative income to be made, and you saw what November was like. We were up like I think 9% as a company. I think you probably felt it in your checks and in your volume because of Christmas cash. Then we roll that thing into December, and nothing's changed, right? Like there is still crazy money to be made in December. So yeah, I might give you a little bit at the end here, Vision 2025, but like let's really get down to the fact that we have 14 days, 2 weeks left in this month, right? Like let's really look at that. And I begin to. It was actually kind of a God thing that you asked me on. I had to drive to Florida last week. I just want to say that I had a little ear surgery, and I couldn't fly. So me and my brother took a road trip, 18 and a half hours from Dallas, Texas, all the way to Florida. Joey said he wants to put it on the schedule 2 to 3 times a year. I said, no, thank you. I love you, but we're not doing that. But, you have a lot of time to think and process. And I really was, just thinking couple weeks left. It was 3 weeks then. Couple weeks left. What what do I need to hear? Like what do I need to dive into? And it was crazy. I wrote some things down, and I want to take you through them, and hopefully this is what you feel like you might need, or Joel, hopefully I hit the spot here tonight. But 14 days left. I just want to make sure that you still have a vision for 14 days left. I think what Joe was alluding to is a lot of what kind of like comfortable people do, right? They kind of wind it down with 2 weeks left. They kind of say, well, we'll chalk it up. We'll go to January. We'll take a break. I'm not dogging any of those people, but those people aren't on this Zoom tonight. You are. So obviously you want to do something different, right? You want to do something that is the difference between the top 1% and everyone else. And I had to ask myself that, as excited I was to 25, what is my vision for the next, at that time, 3 weeks? So what's your vision for the next 2 weeks? What would my vision, if I was sitting in your seat, today, what would my vision be? It'd probably be another $500. That's probably what it would be. Like, I look at the bills that just, my 3 kids and my 2 girls, like, Sephora is no joke. Like, they're just crushing it. Like, with that list, I actually got, Joel, you would actually love this. I got links to a Canva presentation from both of them with links that I could just buy the stuff. I mean, while very annoying, also very helpful, right?
Yeah.
But I look at like all that stuff and I'm like, man, what would my goal be? If I could earn another $500, I could take care of my kids' Christmas. That would be my goal. What's your goal? Like, maybe it's $200, maybe $300. But more importantly than that, you have this team underneath you. And yes, the stocking stuffer is awesome. And we see, a handful of people, a good chunk of people making that full 1,000. But you know what changed the business for so many in November? It actually wasn't the thousands, it was the hundreds. It was when the masses picked up the hundreds. It was when the mom who didn't think she could do it went to work and got the 4 PMs, right? And got that 50 up to 100. And I think if it was me, my goal would be 500 more. 500 more from now to the end of the month. And then it would be a challenge to my entire team. How many hundreds are we going to get? Not thousands. We'll fall into some thousands, but how many hundreds are we going to get? And then here's what we're going to hear the excuse, right? Well, I'm busy, right? We're all busy. Like, name a day that you're not busy. It doesn't matter if it's Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, summer. We're all busy all the time. And everyone's heart is different, right? Like, I could say I have 3 kids and sports and yada, yada, yada. And you could look back at me and say, well, I have 5 kids in sports and they're doing yada. And then some of you are like, I'm single and I don't care that you're that busy. My life's harder than yours, right? Everyone's life is at a different place in a different season. So what I would look at is, okay, yes, we're all busy, but what can I control? What can I control for the next 14 days? I can set aside time to be intentional. I can set aside time to still work my business. I can set aside a time to where, maybe I need to hop on a Zoom with 10 or 15 my team and be intentional in that moment. And I really believe that in the seasons that are busier, it's just that your time becomes more valuable. It's not that it's not that the schedule is like any more crazy. It's just like, okay, so I had an hour 2 months ago. That hour right now is probably 2 to 3 times more important than the hour was 2 or 3 months ago. So what are you doing with you and your team to maximize the time that you have? Because yes, there are Christmas productions going on and all the things that are going on, but are you maximizing time? Focus on what you can control. I guarantee you, even in the midst of the chaos of the holidays, there is a segment of time you can control. Are you controlling it, or is it just flying out the window and we're focusing on what we can't control? And that's the busyness of the season. I think I would, one of the things I wrote down is that I would refrain my mindset about excuses. We all have them. We all can make them up. Like, I'm sure any of you, I could have you unmute and you could give me 20 excuses as to why you can't get that extra 100 or why you can't get on that Zoom. But I can't remember who said it, but they said you can either have excuses or results. You can't have both. You can have excuses or results, but you can't have both. And so I would focus on what I can control, and I would choose the results, not the excuses. Because I'm going to get $500 between now and the end of the month. That's my mentality. I'm going to do it. Like, it's not an option for me. And that's my goal. That's what my goal would be. You say, John, 500 seems really hard. Okay, Are you going to get your 100? Like, are you a leader that got your 100, or are you a leader that didn't get your 100 and you're telling everyone else to get their 100? There's a huge difference in that model of leadership, right? I can tell you, Joel and Steph Dunn, come November, they were the first to earn Christmas cash. Like, that's not common. Like, typically at their tenure, they're gonna like cheer the crowd on, and they're gonna get theirs. No, they were the first in a global company. And let me tell you, Joel can attest to this. There's some Frenchies and Germans that is hard to do nowadays, but they freaking did it. You know why? Because they lead by example. They said, we're not going to ask our team to do something we're not willing to do. So they focused on what they could control. They minimized excuses, and they went and knocked it out of the park. I would get my hundreds. To me, that would be a bite-sized win. So I love bite-sized wins because I don't feel like I get the big ones very often. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, big wins are the best. Like, the Super Bowls are awesome, but I feel like in life, you may get a handful of Super Bowls from the time that you're born to the time that you go to heaven. But what you can have a lot of is bite-sized wins. What are the little wins that you're looking at all along the time in your business, in your life, in your marriage, in your kids, in Christmas cash and promotions, and someone you bring on the team and they get their first 50? I would focus on bite-sized wins during this holiday season. I would be loud about bite-sized wins. You know why? Because people want to be a part of people that are winning. And yes, people want to be on a Super Bowl team, but you can't be a Super Bowl team without wins all throughout the season. I want to be on that type of team. Stay accountable. Like, this one sucks. I'm going to be honest with you. This one sucks. There's some things in life that I would never say, Joel, I want you to be my accountability partner on, because this dude's going to text me every day and hold me to it. You need friends like that. And what do I mean by that? So we're at Christmas cash. We've set our goal. You want $100. You want $500. What I would do is I would tell someone, this is what I'm going to do. And I would tell that person that is going to make you miserable until you get it done. Like, that pushes you, that challenges you. You know why? I kind of skipped a part. I would write it down first. I would write, like, we always use dry erase markers in our bathroom when we were in the field, and we would put our goal and we would put the date. And if we missed the date, that's why we didn't use a Sharpie on a mirror. We use a dry erase marker so we can erase that thing and we can put a new date. But there was always a goal and a date. So what is your goal by December 31st, 2024? Write it down, put it somewhere. Joel knows this, but people who write down their goals are 42% more likely to do them. So you're almost halfway there just by writing the thing down. Like, that's kind of crazy, like, if you really think about that. But then comes this accountability part. So 42% more likely if you just write it down. So you should be writing something down right now. I should see the top of your heads, all of you right now, writing down your goal from now to the end of the year. But then the second thing I should see is that after this, you're going to tell someone about it. I guess I wouldn't see that. You should see that. You should know that you're going to tell someone about it. You know why? Because when you tell someone about it, now you're 78% likely to achieve it. So you're literally over 3/4 of the way there if you write it down and you tell someone. Because you don't want to let yourself down, and you sure as heck don't want to let the person that you told down, because that would make you look bad. It changes everything about the way that you do things. So whether you're married, whether you're not married, whether you look to someone on this team, on this Zoom, whether you have someone who's not on this Zoom that is your accountability partner, you are missing out a huge blessing in your business by every month not writing something down and telling someone about it, because you are going to act differently. You're actually going to wake up every morning and actually think about it, because that text is coming. Hey, where are you at this month? Hey, where are you at this week? Hey, how's it going? Right? And so you have to stay accountable to someone. And you're like, John, I really don't like accountability. Yeah, no one likes it. Like, no one likes to be told that you're not doing great. Like, I can tell you, I have two people in my life. One is Coach Mark Pentecost, and the other one is Joey Alcala, who tell me on the weekly or bi-weekly what I suck at. Okay. Does it feel good? No. Does it stink? Yes. But you know what? Every morning I wake up, I have my list of things I better get done, the list of things I better charge at, because guess what? That conversation's coming. It's coming. And either I'm going to have a good answer, I'm not going to have a good answer. Something shifts when you have accountability. I would have accountability with someone for the next 2 weeks. I'd set a goal, write it down, and have accountability. The last thing I would do is I would understand this, that you end strong to start strong. And I wrote this one down, and I really I don't know, I hate the word marinate, but I did. I was like really thinking about it. You end strong to start strong. And you'll hear it in this, in the It Works world, like how you start the year is how you begin the next, or how you end the month is how you start the next. Like one of these days at conference, me and Joel, we're going to sit down and we're going to make all these like funny sayings that we all say that make sense to us, but not really anyone else, like, I don't know, who's your upline, or, like all the like cliche things we say, but you'll hear that said, but the way that I heard it was, I'm going to end strong to start strong. And is that your mentality? Like, is that your mentality? Like, say you set a goal of $200 of Christmas cash from now and you fall a little bit short. I would venture to say that you're way better off starting 2025 than 99% of the rest of the world, because you at least had a goal, you went after it. And even though you felt short, you ended strong so that you could start strong. And what's cool about what's coming is that we're not waiting till January 1 to get started. We're going to start December 27th as a company. We're going to come out the gate freaking closing the year out strong. We're going to give you some awesome things to close the year out strong. We're actually going to give you some awesome things to start Jan 1 through the beginning of, I think, the 7th. I don't hold me to that. Don't be like, John, you said it was till the 7th. I don't really remember. Okay. But I do know
I'm writing that down as we
yeah.
speak.
And here comes
John
that text
said.
message on January 6th. But you know, we will get to that. But I think my message to you is, even in my long stinking drive to Florida, the Lord was impressing on me, do not do, like, I mean, the word says, right, don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough worries of its own, right? So I'm not worried or looking at 2025. I'm saying, like, we all got to finish these last 2 weeks in the way we want to finish them. And then we're going to go into 2025. And that's going to be awesome. And it's going to be exciting. But I'm just telling you, like, if you're waiting for that, you're letting off the gas at a time where, if you want to be the top 1%, this isn't really the time to do it, because the others will be playing catch up. Really, the ones who are letting off now, they're the ones that are going to be waiting for conference, where you've done the work all to start the year off strong. And then when you get to conference and what we're launching, you're going to be so glad that you went through the end of the year into the new year. And so, Joel, I'll pause there. Those are some of the thoughts that I'd written down, on the road. I'm sure you have some awesome insight just to add, and things that you want to add, but then we can take this wherever you want, from that place. And I'll turn it back to you just for however long you need it.
Yeah, that was incredible. It's kind of funny because I'm looking at my notes for like the last 2 days. And this one I wrote down, and it goes with exactly what you said. Guys, accountability is the most feared word in the English language because nobody likes it. And accountability isn't something that you try. You either are or you aren't. You're either on the bus or you're off the bus. You don't have an option. You don't get to test the waters of accountability. It's either you're doing it or you're not. And accountability is the thing that determines how far you go. It is one of the things that defines success. If you look at successful people, they have somebody, hi JJ, that has them accountable. They have somebody that's checking in on them. They have somebody that's not only speaking life into them, they have somebody that's challenging them. Because if all you do is surround yourself with yes men, you're going to get stuck in the same spot over and over again. Uncomfortability, uncomfortability, it's a word, is something that pushes you to that next level. And then when it comes to these last few weeks, the reason why Stephanie and I are always so excited and all we talk about is what's getting ready to come is because you're ahead of the curve. You know that we're coming into the best time of the year for our business because we're about health, we're about wealth, we're about changing people's lives. And what's the first thing that happens the first week of the year? Everybody wants health, everybody wants wealth, and they're talking about whatever it is they plan on doing to change their life. If you have somebody that you're thinking about right now that you want to have as a part of your team next year, don't wait. Get
Yep.
them in these next 2 weeks because you are going to help them get ahead of the curve. And those are the reasons why you don't rest these next 2 weeks, because these are the things, like John said, that you have the days to set yourself up for the best part of the year, which is the beginning of the year for us.
So good. So
So
good.
we've got some stuff coming next year, maybe.
Yeah. So let's talk about next year very briefly, and
And,
then we're going
and,
to get
and,
back to
and
14 days, right?
right.
So let's just talk about a quick state of it works, right? So we've been January will be 2 years, which is kind of mind blowing, but it'll be 2 years. Year one, it was a year of change. Like, let's be honest, it was a year of change. We had to change a lot of things. We had to get our culture back. We had to get our leadership rallied again. And I think we did it as fast as we possibly could. Year two, this year, uh, I look at it as we set the foundation, but the foundation needs time to set before it can be built upon. And when I look at year two, that's what I feel like we did. I feel like I can look at this Zoom and I can see Caitlin, I can see Mandy, I can see names on here that I'm like, these are names I know. These are people that I like. These are people that I want on my team. Um, you want full transparency? Joel's going to laugh at me when I say this. The first year, you don't even know, one, who's on your team, number two, who you want on your team, and number three, who looks like they're on your team, but they're not really on your team, right? Like, you're just trying to figure it all out. And when I look at where we are going to 2025, and I look at our ambassadors and I look at our VIPs and I look at the names on this Zoom, I know who my team is. I know who our team is. And I can honestly say that. I couldn't say that until probably 2, 3 months ago. And that's just me being transparent, is saying, like, I know who my team is now. And you can't go win any games, much less the Super Bowl, if you don't know who your team is. And, I'll even go a step further within corporate, you're trying to find your team there too. Like, you're trying to find who's really in the foxhole with me, who's willing to put in the work, who's willing to take the hard and run, and who's going to go to battle with you. I know who those people are now, so when I look at that, I'm excited because I know who our team is as a whole, corporate in the field. I know who our team is. That's exciting to me. I couldn't say that. Even 3, 4 months ago. I can say it now. I look at what we've done regarding rebranding. We're starting to look the part. We're starting to look like we're a company where when our customers open something, we can be proud of it. And I know that might be an insult to, those who have gone before us, but like Joel will be the first to tell you, we were 3, 4, 5 years overdue to start looking the part. You're going to continue to see that. We're not going to let up on branding. You're going to see it at conference. You've already seen it in the web. You've seen it in our marketing that, yes, black, green, and bling was cool, but we are now a Florida company that's international, and you start feeling that. You start understanding who we are. So we needed a bit of a facelift. I mean, it doesn't, for some of you it might matter, but for not all of you. But like, Europe will be caught up to us in branding by the end of next year. Mexico's on track. Like, we're doing all this stuff to finally say, this is who we are as a company. That's just branding. Product. Let's talk product. So next, new product in every market come conference. One that you guys will never see coming at conference. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. The clinicals behind the products we're bringing in 2025. You're going to have stuff you can say where Usher and them aren't on your back, right? Like, you're going to actually be able to point to clinical studies as to what we're doing. So get this one. This is cool. This is free information. We will talk about it at conference, but we can talk about it now. So when we were developing Slimmer, we knew there was an ingredient there that was going into a clinical that we wanted to get the data on so that we could make claims, right? So then we bring out Burn Plus. This was like a gift from God, okay? And there's an ingredient that we put in there, the super berberine. It has a more clinical name than that, but let's just call it super berberine here, and then the ingredients that in Slimmer. So literally the end of November, we got the clinical study that when you pair Slimmer with Burn in a 90-day study, the average person loses between 14 and 17% of their weight with those two products just taken together. Clinical.
That is
like
fire.
Not only that, it actually increases GLP-1 production naturally, which is the shot, Ozempic, Mounjaro. It actually increases GLP-1 production in those people by over 50%. We literally have two products that are natural, that are giving efficacious results, just like the shot, without going to a doctor. And guess what? Both of those are on what? Pick two. $75. Where these people are paying thousands of dollars to go get the shot. It's unbelievable. Like, that was just like a blessing from the Lord. You're going to start hearing us talk about that. We're going to put a whole segment on it at conference so that way we can understand it. It's unbelievable. That's just two products that we've already had. When you go into January, launch product there. Probably going to have we're going to have a one or more products in every market in April. Then you get into the latter part of the year, and we'll probably do one more round of some type of products around September, November, October, November. So products, we're not going to sit back and not develop products. We're going to be aggressive in trying to hit the market in every market. And so super excited about that. Events. Let's talk events for a second. So we had to play a little bit of catch up. We didn't have, like, I'll be transparent. When I came in, we didn't have events planned out literally for the next year. So we had to play a little bit of catch up. And so we're fully locked and loaded for next year. We're going to announce 2 to 3 cities in the US for events next year that are spread out all across the US. We have Meet It Works going on. Those will continue. We're going to have, I don't want to talk international too much, but we're going to have events all across. We didn't connect enough this year. Like, let's be honest, we didn't get in the room enough this year. We're not making that mistake again in 2025. So we have an events plan. We have a product plan. We've got some crazy changes that are coming at conference that are going to enable you to enroll in an easier fashion. We're looking at everything right now. We'll talk about this a little bit, Joel, at the leadership summit, but we're going to have a huge change in our payment gateway coming up the latter part, mid to latter part of next year. That's going to enable us to make it easier for our customers to checkout flow, all the things. We're just playing catch up a little bit there. I'm just telling you, we're not looking at, okay, we're going to launch bonuses and hope for the best. That's not what we're doing. Okay. App updates coming in January. I'm just saying that the future is bright. We have our team, and 2025 is going to be beyond special for those that want to go on a ride with us. People are going to make lucrative money in 2025. I really believe that because of all the work that we've put in, the foundation that's been led. This past year, it wasn't just hard on one company. It was hard on the world with the macro economy. It was just a beat down. Election year just didn't feel good. I think people's psyche starting to change. On Wall Street, when I was on Wall Street, we would just say, we don't care what the change is. We just need change. And I think that kind of is where the world might be right now going into 2025 is like, we just need to move forward and be optimistic. And I think that's going to help with customer psyche and spending habits. So I just think we have so much going on that is positive for our company, for you. It's just who's going to be willing to put in the work each and every day. We're going to continue to give opportunities for you guys to make income, make some shifts where you have control over your business, where you put in the work, you see those checks lift on the weekly. I just want to tell you that we are one of the very few companies in the world that when you do it, you get paid that week or that next week. Like we're not, that's not normal. Okay. I believe there's power in that. I believe there's power in getting, you close out that Christmas cash and it's in your checking account. We'll continue to stay the course on those types of things. So many good things coming. And Joel, if you want to add anything to that, I do have a present. I actually came with a present um, for anyone who wants it. But do you want me to give you
Quick,
the
go
present
put
now
in
or
your
before we?
Santa costume.
I know I should have wore a hat, but I was just thinking, I saw our conference sales, and we're coming down to kind of like I'd call it maybe the last 50 to 100 seats of what the Marriott can fit. It's not I mean, Joel's been there. It's not a huge facility, because the convention center is still being renovated. But I was just thinking, why not? So I had the team set up a code. I think it was like 4 days ago, um, that I could offer to anyone who wants to go to conference. If you haven't bought your ticket yet, and you're like, John, I want to be there, and I just need a little bit of help with that ticket. If you go into your back office and put in the code MVP, it'll take 30% off your ticket. So it'll drop it from 300 down to I think 210. So that's
That
my
is
present.
insane, guys.
So that's my Christmas
Yes.
present that I'm bringing
Chat's
to.
going insane.
And here's the thing. Here's what I want you to know. Like, share it with your team. I don't give a crap. Like, I want everyone in that room. Like, I want it to be packed out. I want it to sell out. I want us to shout to the world, we sold out this thing. And if it gets out, you can blame Joel. Okay, like it's fine. He can take it. He's a big boy. So, but $90. I know flights expensive, hotels are expensive. I get all that, but what can I control? I can control that. Right now, we haven't pulled any perks other than the promo code. So if you use it, you'll still get the free product that we launch in the US market or whatever market you're from. We're still going to give that with this ticket. And you're like, John, I already bought a ticket. Yeah, you probably used all your promo codes to close out Christmas cash, and you made a killer amount with those codes. So those codes aren't there, but what is there is you'll still get the free product for the market. We wanted to keep that. But pass the code around. I don't care. I want us to get together. I want us to have fun. Jam packed 2-day conference. We actually had to push two things out, because we're just so full of announcements. Like, guys, I don't know how much these guys are going to be able to digest. And I'm really saying that because when corporate used to throw us, like Joel will probably nod his head, when you throw the field too much, we just don't know what to focus on, right? Like, so even with conference, I was like, you know what, let's save some stuff for April. Like, let's get through conference. Let's have boom time. Let's bring March Madness back, but then let's bring those extra 2 or 3 announcements in April. That way we can digest them, and we can hit that hard. So that's my Christmas present. I hope some of you take advantage of it. I would love to see, 10, 20, 30 from this Zoom, and then you go and you tell your team about it, and, go get one, go get two, but let's sell out the thing. Yeah. Regarding streaming, we didn't have streaming until after COVID, and we just needed to make a decision. Were we going to do streaming? And there will be announcements posted on Road to VIP. Like, we're not going to not tell you what the new products are, or what the things are, but it's not going to be like your typical streaming. So if you're on the fence, or you're thinking about not coming, and you're like, oh, I'll just tune in, it's not going to be what it was. We really want people to be in the room. And I understand there's things that come up. We're still going to keep you up on all the pages and announce things. We're not going to be like, good luck, you don't know what's coming. But it's not going to be
Why you
kind of the
have to be
professional
there.
streaming. Yeah, absolutely. So Joel, I'll shut up, take a drink of this water right here, and turn it back over to you. But MVP, 30% off conference ticket, pass it around. Get as many people as you can get there, because it's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be awesome.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed drinking from a fire hose because that was incredible. To say thank you to John, put the Santa face emoji in the chat. And so, as we wrap this up, guys, here's the thing. Some of the things that you heard tonight are things that are coming. But what's most important is how you finish this year. You have
Yep.
14
Yep.
days of excellence yet to create, because winning is a result of habits, but being a winner is a part of your character and who you are. And like John said, the way that you set yourself up for success next year is by doing everything possible to capitalize on the success that you have remaining in this year's goals. Guys, go out, crush the end of this year. Yes, spend time with your family, but know that you have the opportunity to create freedom for you, your friends, and your family over these next 14 days. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and pray us out, and then we will get ready to rock the rest of this week. Heavenly Father, thank you for this amazing group. Thank you that John was able to come in and pour fire over these leaders. Just ask that you would give them blessings of abundance over these next few weeks. We thank you that you sent your son down to be born for us and to give us the best example of leadership and love ever. God, we love you. We thank you. We'll go out and have an amazing week and do incredible things for your kingdom through this company. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.